Today I will be sharing with y'all who I believe to be the top 5 best anime picks to run for President of the United States. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sundays, the show where we talk about anime on Sundays. Let's get right into it. Now, as you all know, the presidential election is only a few months away. It is very important that everybody goes out and vote and exercise their right. But it dawned on me what anime characters would be a good fit to run for President of the United States. Now, of course, there are many elements to being a good president. We know there's a lot of hidden agendas behind the scenes, a lot of other powers at work, and we know that the president can only do so much, right? So with that in mind, I'm breaking down these anime characters as if they didn't have their supernatural abilities to help aid them when directing the country. Now at number 5, I have Senku from Dr. Stone. Now the reason I chose Senku is because I believe ultimately when it comes to being a president, the first thing you need is intelligence, right? We know that it's not necessarily what's needed to win the election, but I feel like a president that is very well versed in all types of knowledge, especially as one as skilled as Senku, would already have a good kind of head start into helping make the right decisions for our country. Now, again, I have Senku at the bottom of my list because, again, he's not a very motivated kind of group leader. He's more only doing things for the sake of science. But we know that when it comes to leading a group, especially evolving a group to their best form, you know, as a state or a kingdom or what have you, Senku is the lead factor in developing the kingdom of science. From their technology, from inspiring people, do the right thing and help him step up and make sure there is no stone world, to just passing on knowledge and doing what it takes to make sure that everybody has the access to knowledge so that people can make the right decision for themselves to make a better environment for all. We know that when it came to Senku's first rival, Tsukasa, I believe his name is, you know, the strongest high schooler, he thought the world would be better without adults trying to dictate, you know, the way of living with their greed and their malice. And Senku said, you know, mankind isn't gonna ever be perfect, but you should always give them the ability to choose to do so. And I think that kind of moral compass on Senku is one of the main reasons I could see him as a great leader of the nation, and especially a great president. Because again, we know that there's a lot of other powers that keep the president in check, but it takes a smart and wise president to know the policies, to know how to maneuver in the politic game to get the best outcome for the people. And I think that Senku would be good at that, as he is not only just a smart scientist, he is a pretty good strategist as well. All right, next up, I have Naruto. I mean, it's kind of obvious reason I have Naruto. You could, you know, relate a lot of similarities to our nation, even our world, to the 5 great nations, the Leaf Village, etc. Of course, Naruto, again, isn't the smartest Hokage, but he has a good trust in his team, his VP, his board, Shikamaru, Sakura, Sasuke. He knows how to pick a good board of trustees, etc., to help him manage in the places that he lacks, right? Of course, we know Naruto did a lot for the ninja world, right? Helped open up a lot of international relationships, helped stop a lot of, you know, decade-long feuds with nations and clans. And we know that Naruto is just, you know, has a really good heart. Always does what's best for the people. He always puts his nation in mind first, even sometimes before his own family. I think in terms of experienced Hokage, Naruto would do a good job leading our nation, even without all of his powers. We know that when it comes to the moral spectrum of Naruto, he really goes above and beyond to make sure even the, you know, most villainous foes or his craziest enemies can even be turned to a new leaf and brought to his side. So I kind of see, you know, era where we may not have no wars if Naruto was the president. All right, number 3, I have Julius Novachrono. The only reason I really have Julius over Naruto is just I think he is a little bit more wiser and more intelligent than Naruto, but pretty much everything I said to Naruto can really be applied to Julius. Again, puts the people first, is always trying to, you know, merge relationships between other nations, always doing what's best for his nation's military, which you could say is Magic Knights, right? He's not just putting them in harm's way just because, you know, he feels like they need to conquer over everything. He really takes into consideration, you know, who's fighting for him and what they all need to make their Clover Kingdom a better place. Again, he is a wise wizard king. You know, he excels in learning as much as he can about magic. So anybody that kind of has that hunger, that aptitude, you know they're going to do well to keep your nation afloat. Again, there's other things in power kind of keep keeping him in check, even though it is an anarchy. He still isn't a dictator. He's not just running amok as a power hungry leader. And just like Naruto, he is technically a militant, an ex-military soldier. He's fought in great battles, in big skirmishes for his nation, such as Naruto. So that's why I would have Julius over him at number 3. At number 2, I have Whitebeard. Now I know this could be controversial to some of you because he is a pirate, right? But I think that Whitebeard really excels in what we call good piracy in One Piece, right? A lot of the nations that were under attack from other great pirates are living well when they were under Whitebeard's flag, flourishing, safe. They felt comfortable knowing that Whitebeard's name itself could keep them protected. I think as a nation, USA, we kind of pride ourselves that, if a country has USA backing them, they have to recheck if they want to go to war with us or invade or what have you. It's kind of like the same thing with Whitebeard. If they see that flag, if they know that Whitebeard is in charge, they may be as skeptical to, want to mess with our allies, etc. I mean, of course, Whitebeard's a family man. Even when people turned against him in his own crew and his family, he still embraced them, showed them love. He goes to war for any of his crew. So, athletes getting locked up in other nations, big celebrities, politicians, Whitebeard's gonna go get them back. You know what I mean? And again, it's just more of a respect thing. I think, when you think of a Whitebeard, you think of more of like a Clinton, maybe a Bill, someone who's like kind of respected in the politic game. And again, he's not easily run over. He may not be the most intelligent per se, but we know that he's definitely smarter than his counterpart Roger in a sense. And we know that he's not gonna let people around him run amok, right? Even on Rox's crew, we project that he wasn't just some soldier that fell in line because Rox was so strong. He had his own agendas that he kept to. All right, and then at number 1, the anime character who I think would be the best presidential candidate to run for president is Rimuru, Tempest from Reincarnated Slime. If you watch Reincarnated Slime, it's really not much I need to say. Rimuru right now is literally building a monster of nations that rivals not only every nation in his world, but even some other nations that you may say in other isekais. Rimuru's got everything down pat to even the best toll roll options. He's got coliseums. He's built laws that, help free monsters that were enslaved or just magical creatures that were oppressed. He's doing everything in his power to mitigate, healthy relationships and delegations between all races, especially humans. And he knows that, kind of like sometimes USA is looked at as the big bad wolf. He knows that the Jura Federation is kind of looked at as like, oh, the nation of monsters. We got to be careful. We don't really want to do no business with them. And he's every day watering down those rumors, helping people see how good the nation of monsters is and how great they could be to the other world, right? Again, he's got, parties within parties running different parts of his nation, all reporting to him, from military to finances to food. He's taking care of the little things in his nation, and it's making his nation the most popular in his world. He's got even other strong characters, some characters that you may argue stronger than him, falling in line, wanting to be a part, wanting to contribute, not only to help him, but to help the people. They want to do something good for a cause. And I think that takes a lot of charisma as well to influence such strong characters of that caliber. Even when, the state is really coming for Rimuru, right? He's not doing anything too drastic. He's not killing, head militant people, even when he fought old girl who was captain of the Sword Knights or what have you. It ended in a draw, and he did everything he can to make sure that the relationships were still solid between them, even when the technical government of other nations kind of pressed that war button first. So yeah, y'all, those are my top 5 anime characters who I think would be good presidential candidates and could run our nation pretty well. Make sure y'all go to those polls and vote. It's very important that you exercise your right. And yeah, see y'all next Sunday.